أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحجة رب العالمين، المنتجب في الميثاق المصطفى في الضلال المطهر من كل آفة، البرية من كل عيب، المؤمل للنجاة، المرتجى للشفاعة، المفوض إليه دين الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وأناخت برحلك، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة عقيلة الطالبيين زينب الكبرى وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعندما دخلوا على ابن زياد فقال ابن زياد: الحمد لله الذي فضحكم وأكذب حدوثتكم. فقالت السيدة الجليلة زينب الكبرى الصديقة الصغرى: إنما يفتضح الفاسق ويكذب الفاجر وهو غيرنا. فقال ابن زياد: فكيف رأيت صنع الله بأخيك وأهل بيتك؟ فقالت: ما رأيت إلا جميلة، ما رأيت إلا جميلة. هؤلاء قوم كتب الله عليهم القتل فبرزوا إلى مضاجعهم، وسيجمع الله بينك وبينهم فتحاج وتخاصم، فانظر لمن الفلج يومئذ ثكلتك أمك يا ابن مرجانة. The journey of Imam al-Hussein alayhi afdalus salati was salam, his revolution was from Medina and it ended in Karbala on 15th of Rajab 60 AH to 10th of Muharram Ashura 61 AH. 15th of Rajab, this is when Muawiyah died and the news of his death reached Medina al-Munawwara, and they asked the Imam to come to the governor's court, telling him that Muawiyah died and now you are obliged to pledge allegiance to his son Yazid ibn Muawiyah. To which the Imam said his famous words: مثلي لا يبايع مثله. A person like me does not pledge allegiance to a person like Yazid. Why? Well, Yazid is known قاتل النفس المحترمة, the one who kills the innocent, the one who drinks, يشرب الخمر, drunk. And a person like Yazid shouldn't be the ruler of the Islamic Empire, let alone for me to come and pledge allegiance to him. That shows that I accept for him to be the Amir al-Mu'mineen, the commander of the faithful, and that is not for a person like Yazid. Imam left Medina al-Munawwara 28th of Rajab, and this journey started. The very journey that we every year from the first days of Muharram, 1st of Muharram, we take on until the last days of Safar to Rabi' al-Awwal, 2 months, Muharram and Safar. We wear black, we enter to the majalis, we commemorate the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussein alayhi afdalus salati wassalam. Every year there is that renewal of allegiance to the Imam salamullahi alayhi. And that is very important, especially in a time that we are living, unfortunately, with some people that, unfortunately, again, the numbers are increasing, the alphabet community, and the ones that have taken what is right and made it what you see today, at this confusion that the West has and is dragging us as well, Hasan, dragging us as well to this abyss. And we, as individuals, as citizens, unfortunately in the Western countries, we sometimes don't know what to do with this. But the Imam made it clear. We have Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. Imam al-Hussein is sacrificed on the day of Ashura And if you look into the Ziyarat al-Arba'in of the Imam Sadiq, Imam al-Sadiq compiled the Ziyarat al-Arba'in. Inshallah, you go to the Ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein. On the day of Arba'in, you recite this short Ziyarah. It comes to those phrases, it says, وَبَذَلَ مُهْجَتَهُ فِيكَ لِيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَ وَحَيْرَةِ الضَّلَالَ. And he gave out his blood, the blood of his heart. Muhjatahu means the blood of his heart. To do what? To bring out the people from dhalala, bring them out from dhalala, and of course to give them this right path. And the Imam did that. وَبَذَلَ مُهْجَتَهُ فِيكَ لِيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ. يَسْتَنْقِذَ, that means to rescue the people. And that itself is not just for 61 IH. No, even today, 1,384 years after the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussein, when you come to this very majalis, what happens to you? You recharge that spirit of yours, that soul of yours, that ruh, that needs recharging every day. Every day, not once a year for a couple of days. No, it needs every day. Like you need to eat. You need to eat, you need to drink water. That is a task that you take every day. To rest, so is the task of maw'adha, coming to this majalis. And what is better than, of course, remembering Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayh. So you know what happened on the day of Ashura. On the day of Ashura, if you recite the maqtal, or hear the maqtal, that means the killing of Imam al-Hussein's story, لما أصبح الحسين يوم عاشوراء, to the last point. The day of Ashura was from sunrise to sunset. That means that the day that finished with the killing of Imam al-Hussein and the burning of the tents. لما أصبح الحسين يوم عاشوراء means Salat al-Subh. The Imam prayed Salat al-Subh. Then he got up and he started his first lecture on that day. He spoke with his companions, those companions that we don't have anyone, if you look throughout history, anyone that has even close to the companions of Imam al-Hussein. That's why the Imam said, I don't know any companions that better than you companions. And just imagine a person who's standing there facing 30,000. Another hadith says 70,000 enemy combatants, and yet this person says, no, I'm not going to leave you here. I'm going to be by your side, and if that means for me to be killed and for me to be burnt, and Allah resurrects me again and again and again 70 times, doesn't matter for me. Zuhair ibn al-Qayn said 1,000 times. Now, if it was me, I might say it, يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز فوزا عظيما. I wanted to be there, but I'm saying in the comfort of my house, in the comfort of this mosque. The same person who says that, he might have problem getting up for Salat al-Subh. He might have problem to do ghusl. He might have problem to fast. It's not an easy task. So you know what happened on that day. Just a glimpses of that day. If you look at what happened on the day of Ashura, and you know we only recite the maqtal only on the day of Ashura. So I'm not going to recite for you on the maqtal. Why? Because it's not the day of Ashura. Only the day of Ashura we recite the maqtal. Because it's a musibah. ما أعظمها وأعظم رزيتها. زيارة Ashura says it. It's a musibah, it's a tragedy that our Imam al-Hujjah alayhi afdal salati was salam says in زيارة الناحية المقدسة فلا أبكين عليك بدل الدموع دما. Not that I cry for you some tears, I cry for you blood. ولا أندمنك صباحا ومساء. And I sit down, I weep for you day and night. This is our Imam. He's saying this about his grandfather, Imam al-Hussein. And you know one of the sayings, and the saying that we will say, inshallah, if we are companions of Imam al-Hujjah, Ya litharat al-Hussein. So it's always connected to Imam al-Hussein, salamullah alayhi. Now if you look at it, what this day was for Lady Zainab, salamullah alayha. Because this is a saying of Lady Zainab, I'll come to it in a minute. So the journey of Imam Hussein's revolution needed people to help out for this journey to become successful. Was the journey of Imam Hussein successful? Was it? Was Imam Hussein victorious on the day of Ashura? No. If you look at it in that sense, you know, the literal meaning of it. No, Imam Hussein was killed. more than 326 wounds. Imam al-Sadiq says was on the body of my grandfather Hussein. The companions asked him, more than 326? How could this be possible? A body cannot take that much of wounds. And the Imam said, on every stab there was another stab. Just imagine. And then after that, decapitation of the Imam. Just glimpses I'm giving you. The only person that was killed on the day of Ashura and he was still breathing in that way was Imam al-Hussein. He was decapitated while he was still alive. The rest were decapitated later, after the death. The only person was Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. After that, Ya khayr Allah arkabi, Umar ibn Sa'd. You know, Umar ibn Sa'd did many things that he wasn't told to do, but he just did them just to get another point with his governor, with his Amir, just to become the governor of Ray. He wasn't asked to do many things, and he did. Just to, for example, when he shot an arrow, he said, Ishhadu wa alaykum as-salam. Ishhadu li and al-Amir. Bear witness that I was the one who started this war. May God curse you and curse whoever was there on the day of Ashura. This person did many things. One of them was this, that he brought 10 horses to stampede the body of Imam al-Hussein. Okay. All of that, just imagine. Then the heads on the spears. Then the burning of the tents. Then the children running from one tent to the other. Some children died from the stampede of the horses. Some children died from the fire because of the tents were set on fire. They died. So Lady Zainab is seeing all of that. She's not reading on a piece of paper like me and you and you go, oh my God, or hearing the maqtal from a Sayyid or a Sheikh. No, she was there seeing all of this. Later on, she sees the body of her brother on the plains of Karbala being torn into pieces. Wasla, wasla. That means, you know, wasla, wasla. Small pieces. That on the 13th of Muharram, when Imam Zain al-Abidin came back to bury his father, he took one place of the body from the right and the left fell down. From the left, the right fell. That's why the Imam said to the people of Bani Asad, bring me a hasira that I can put under the body of my father, that I can put him into the grave. All of this. Then they are dragged from where? From Karbala to Kufa. From Karbala to Kufa, and then from Kufa to Sham. The historians narrate 40 cities that were taken to. Children, women. The army that was 30,000 became about 2,000-3,000, just to become faster. They can maneuver faster from one city to the other. When they enter Kufa, and the lady sees that the Kufans are celebrating the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussein, she recites that sermon of hers. In the world that now today, you can't tell and you can't ask, unfortunately, that what is a woman? What's the definition of woman? This is a woman. Lady Zainab gives the definition of a woman. If someone asks you, what is a woman? You say, Lady Zainab. Here you go. Faddal. All of these patients, she comes in the court of Ibn Ziyad. Ibn Ziyad, 27-year-old. When he killed Imam Hussein, how old was he? 27. He was a little child. He looks at them, he's drunk. With what? With victory. That we won. Heads are right there. The children are all shackled, and the women are crying. The children are crying, and we'll have just one of them. That's Imam Zain al-Abidin, salamullah alayhi, one of the males, survivor. Look at him. Couple of days and he's done. So the lady here, Lady Zainab, salamullah alayha, it's a long sermon, and it's a long back and forth between the two. I just chose this part. فقال ابن زياد. Ibn Ziyad said to her, because he was provoking her, he was making fun of her. الحمد لله الذي فضحكم وأكذب حدوثتكم. Thank God. الحمد لله الذي. So these guys were so delusional that God helped them with this. That God helped them with this. Even on another occasion, he says to Imam Zain al-Abidin, Didn't God kill Ali? Because he asked the Imam's name. He said, my name is Ali ibn al-Hussein. He said, Ali ibn al-Hussein, didn't God kill Ali? He said, no, my brother Ali was killed by the people, not Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then here, Lady Zainab, she goes to him, she says to him, because here he's saying to her that God have made you, because you're liars, this is all lies from you, and here, أَكْذَبَ حُدُوثَتكُمْ, he's talking about the message. Shows that this person is a kafir. Like his Amir al-Mu'mineen, so-called Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Same thing, that today we have some individuals, today, in the 21st century, 2023, 1445 after Hijrah, we have people today, they say, yes, Amir al-Mu'mineen Yazid, and you have no right to say anything about him. May God curse you and curse him, for a person to say such a thing. And on the day of Ashura, I had a glimpses of their khutab. Because you know, some places Ashura was on Friday. I looked at their khutab. Look at this person, Istajir billah, mamsukh. He's not even human. He starts to talk about Adam Uthman and the war between Imam Ali and Muawiyah. And yet I see some people in Manchester, this individual was in Manchester, he's in Manchester, in United Kingdom, that they beat their chest and they cry, this is haram. This is haram. Mamsukhin, today you have these people. And Amir al-Mu'mineen Yazid ibn Muawiyah. He mentions such a thing. So Lady Zainab says to him, إِنَّمَا يَفْتَضِحْ الْفَاسِقْ وَيَكْذِبُ الْفَاجِرْ. You are a fasiq and you are a fajir. It means the person who commits sin in public. And Allah will bring out their lies, your lies. وَهُوَ غَيْرُنَا. And that's not us, that's you. Just imagine. I gave you glimpses of the day of Ashura, yes? If one of us, a family member, passes away in the hospital, look how we broke down. We break down like that window behind you. That window behind you, if I get a rock and I throw it at the window, what happens to the window? Shatters into hundreds of pieces. Some individuals are like this. If a tragedy comes to them, knocks on the door, what happens to them? Khalas, that person is done. No food, no water, no sleep. And on top of that, he questions Allah's decision. Yet this lady, she's seen all of that. And here, he's provoking her. He's making fun of what happened. And on top of that, he's showing that we are victorious. You are the one who lost the war. What does she say to them? And then Ibn Ziyad says to her, كيف رأيت صنع الله? Again, بأخيك وأهل بيتك. How do you find what Allah has done to you, family members, and your brother? What does she say? Those famous words. Allah. ما رأيت إلا جميلة. These words, you have to write them with gold and put them up. ما رأيت إلا جميلة. It means what? I didn't see anything but beauty. أيوة Ashura, beauty. This journey, all beauty? Yes. And we talk about this. We just entered the topic. That was just introduction. So prepare for a couple of hours. صلى على محمد وآل محمد. Now you might say, what is the beauty of Ashura? What's the beauty of Karbala? The journey of Imam al-Hussein. What's beautiful about this? It's all beauty. The brother that shows his loyalty to his brother. Isn't that beauty? Abu al-Fadl Abbas, Qamar Bani Hashim. And you see, if you look around anywhere in the world, you see that the Shia, we, as lovers of Ahlul Bayt, we have this love toward Abu al-Fadl Abbas, Qamar Bani Hashim. And if we talk about power, strength, loyalty, we say the king of loyalty is Abu al-Fadl Abbas. Isn't that beautiful? This very characteristics of Abu al-Fadl Abbas, this loyalty of Abu al-Fadl Abbas, it's beautiful. The very definition of loyalty, if you look at it, Imam Hussein's brother is Abul Fadl Abbas. Abul Fadl Abbas, what he did, even before the war, before the battle started, Shimr called out. He said, where are the sons of my sister? Aina ibnu ukhtina. Because he comes from the same tribe, Bani Kilab. He's not the brother of Fatima bint Huzam al-Kilabiyya, aka Umm al-Banin, but that was the way they talked on that day, in those days. So, where are the sons of my sister? Abu Fadl Abbas was looking at him. No reply. Again, he shouted out, where are the sons of my sister? Nothing. Third time, he called out. The Imam, this is Shimr ibn Joshan calling out. The Imam looked at him, he said, brother, answer him, even though he's a fasiq, he's a fajr. See what he wants. Sam'an wa ta'atan. This is another beauty. We said loyalty, count them down. What's the other one? Obedience. Whatever you say. Sam'an wa ta'atan. Sayyidi wa mawlai. Sayyidi wa mawlai. He doesn't say brother. The only place that he called out his brother by brother was when he fell to the ground from the horse. Here, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, Sam'an wa ta'atan, whatever you say. Complete obedience. He goes to him, what do you want? What is it? What do you want? You've been calling out. He said, I have a letter. Here you go. This letter is by the Amir, your Amir. This is a safe passage for you and your brothers, they're all four together, the sons of Fatima bint Huzam al-Kilabiyya al-Banin salamullahi alayha. You're free to go. Leave Hussein. Why you want to die for him? What does he say? لعنك الله ولعن أمانك ولعن أميرك. May God curse you and curse the Amir that you follow, and you want us to follow him. And that passage, that safe passage you have given us. وَلَعَنَ اللَّهُ أَمَانَكَ. You give us safe passage, and the son of the Prophet has no safe passage. So we said what? Loyalty, obedience. And then after that, you see the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice of the companions and the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam, and the Imam's what? The Imam's family members. Ultimate sacrifice. When the Imam stands and calls out to his companions and family members that tomorrow we all going to be killed. What does Qasim ibn al-Hasan say? Qasim ibn al-Hasan is how old? 13-year-old. Who here is 13? By the hand. Put your hand up if you're 13. 15? 20? 20? You are, yeah, some of you are 20. If I ask you this question that the Imam asked Qasim ibn al-Hasan, when he asked the Imam, he said, am I also going to be killed for you? The Imam answered this question with a question. How do you define death? If you ask a 20-year-old today, 15-year-old, 25, whatever the age is, how do you define death? Oh, death is the end. I want to live my life. I want to get married. I want to have children. I want to work. I want to travel the world. Isn't that what you're going to say? I want to enjoy life. But what does he say? كيف الموت عندك ما رأيت إلا. The Sayyida, when she says ما رأيت إلا جميلة, this is it. This is it. This is the Jamil. This is the beauty. This is this very conversation between the Imam and Qasim ibn al-Hasan. This is beauty. That today I'm here talking about this to you. This is beautiful. What does he say about death? He says, what? It's sweeter than honey. For you, death is sweeter than honey. أحلى من العسل. For you, Ya Abu Abdullah, a 13-year-old. That shows you what? Death is merely the beginning. This life is going to end any day. So again, the lesson that is driven from this day, it's beautiful. So the companions and the Imam's family members and their devotion and their sacrifice on the day of Ashura. There is another one, and that is the sayings of the Imam, the du'as of the Imam. And this is the very book, that's why I brought it with me. I'm not going to read it for you because it's going to take a long time. But if you look at this book, it's a book written, it's a compilation of what? The bringing out from Medina to Karbala. In the words of Imam al-Hussein. Imam al-Hussein started from Medina, as I mentioned, in the governor of Walid. He started and he goes to the very end when he was on the plains of Karbala and Shimr came. This is it. This is all what you find here. Even the dua, there are many dua here from the Imam. The dua of the Imam, for example, on the day of Ashura, the very first thing the Imam did, the Imam after his salat and the Imam after his sermon, the Imam recited this dua. This is beautiful. This is what we call beauty. This is what she means. What she means, the lady, salamullah alayha, the mountain of patience, Lady Zainab salamullah alayha, when she says, Ma ra'aytu illa jamila, is this book. This very book is jamil. It's beautiful. The sayings of the Imam, the letters of the Imam, the du'as of the Imam. So look at this. This is the first dua the Imam recited on the day of Ashura, in the morning. On the morning, the Imam recited this dua. And this is the dua from the Prophet that the Imam recited on the day of Ashura. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma anta thiqati fi kulli karb. Look at this dua. Today you recite this and shows the beauty of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhi. Allahumma anta thiqati fi kulli karb wa raja'i fi kulli shidda wa anta li fi kulli amrin nazala bi thiqatun wa udda. كم من هم يضعف فيه الفؤاد لله وتقل فيه الحيلة ويخذل فيه الصديق ويشمت فيه العدو أنزلته بك وشكوته إليك رغبة مني إليك عمن سواك فكشفته وفرجته فأنت ولي كل نعمة ومنتهى كل رغبة. When did the Imam recite this dua? After the Imam, he told his so-called army, 72. You are in charge of the Maymana, the right wing. You are in charge of the Maysara, the left wing. And Abu Fadl Abbas, you're the what? The holder of the flag. You're the general. So, Imam finished with that, and then he looked at the enemy. 30,000. The hadith says it was like the ocean. Every one of them is holding a weapon, armed to the teeth. Imam recites this dua. They are there to kill the Imam. They are there to kill the Imam. But this very dua is beautiful. Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. This is the dua that the lady was speaking about. This very sayings of the Imam, it's what the lady is talking about. When the Imam alayhi afdhalu salati wassalam says that I came out to لَكَيْ آمُرَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَأَنْهَى عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, gives you this message that أمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر, enjoining good and forbidding evil. Even though you see me, that I'm going to be killed, my family members will be slaughtered, I'm willing to do that. What else are beautiful on the day of Ashura? The rajas, the calling out of the soldiers. You know, the soldiers, whenever they went into the war, they recited something. For example, Amiri Husaynun wa na'mal Amir. سرور فؤاد البشير النذير. The Rajas of Abu Fadl Abbas salamullah alayhi, after they cut off his right hand, right arm, what does he say? والله إن قطعتم يميني إني أحامي أبدا عن ديني وعن إمام صادق ليقيني. When he comes to the water, Abu Fadl Abbas, to the Euphrates, and he's about to drink water, يا نفس من بعد الحسين هوني وبعده لا كنت أو تكوني هذا الحسين. What does he say here? That this is the water you want to drink and enjoy, and yet your brother Hussein is in the camp thirsty? No. Again, loyalty of Abu Fadl Abbas. There is a beauty that today, if you talk about loyalty, can you find anyone who's really loyal like Abu Fadl Abbas? No. But the definition of loyalty, the example of loyalty is Abu Fadl Abbas, salamullah alayhi. What else? I'll go through some of them and I finish. You come to what? You come to the bravery. They are brave, they're courageous. They are the ones who are going to fight. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to stand. They are the ones who are going to They are there, even though the number is very small number, the quantity is not great, isn't it? The quantity is 72, some hadith says 85, 89. I looked over many books, the number comes to 100, no more than 100, that's it. This is it. That was the number. In front of 30,000, they were steadfast. Istiqamah. This is another beauty that shows you bravery and istiqamah. Steadfast in front of what? In front of 30,000. I'm willing to fight, and on top of that, I fight as if I'm winning the war. I'm winning the war. Companions were like this, and the family members of the Imam. They run to the battlefield, run. Qasim ibn al-Hasan comes and he embraces the Imam, and the Imam refuses. He starts to kiss the hands of the Imam, and he starts to kiss the feet of the Imam. That let me go and fight. I want to go and die for you. This is beauty. Rida biqada Allah. We know this is going to happen. And the Imam says to them, today we're all going to be killed. Does one of them get up and say, oh, come on, you dragged us all the way here, all going to be killed? No, they are what? They're willing to die. And they are what? They don't have any regrets. And they are what? Radi. That means they allow this happen and they're thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of them comes to the Imam. Actually two. There are two brothers, the Kadhimiyan. They call them the two brothers are the Kadhimis. On the day of Ashura, they start to cry, weep. The Imam says to them, why are you crying? They say to the Imam, we're not crying for ourselves. We're crying for you. That we have only one thing to give you, and we don't have anything else to give it to you. But that one thing that we have is the dearest what we have. What we cry, the reason we cry is that we don't have anything else to give out to you. One of them also, on the day of Ashura, he makes jokes to another companion. He starts to laugh. The other companion tells him, Ya Fulan, and that person was teaching Quran in Kufa. He was known as a scholar. He said, Fulan, we are fighting, we're going to die. He said, yes, that's why I'm making jokes, I'm laughing. Because minutes and we are in paradise. I'm happy for this. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the tawfiq, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the blessing to fight for this Imam and die for the Imam. Their names were written down by Jibreel. Salamullah. Allah chose for them to be there. This very example of the companions that today, I was speaking about this in Muharram, about the traits, the characteristics of the companions of Imam al-Hussein, and the characteristics of the companions of Imam al-Hujjah, salamullah alayh. And there is a hadith from the Imam, our sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq. It's a long hadith, that Imam al-Sadiq gives you the characteristics of the companions of Imam al-Hujjah. If you put this here, and you put them aligned to each other, and you start comparing them, you just need to do what? Change the hadith and write down, these are the characteristics of Imam al-Hussein's companions. Exactly that are the Imam Hussein companions. So Allah gave you the hadith and gave you the example. Gave you the hadith and the example. He says, you know what? I don't just give you the hadith. I give you the example of people that died for this. And I conclude with this one. I see that you are tired. And that is one of the beauties that the lady mentioned. Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. This very thing that we do every year. This majalis. It's beautiful. You are driven to beauty. You don't like something ugly. See, the very embodiment of beauty was Imam al-Hussein, salamullah alayh, and his companions and his family members. Imam al-Hussein is the very embodiment of beauty. The other side is what? The very embodiment of ugliness. Ugly. Are you driven to something that is ugly? No. You love something that is beautiful. If you see a beautiful woman, you go after her. If you see an ugly woman, like an orc, like a Shrek, would you go after her? Yes or no? No. One of them says no. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You are driven to beauty. That's why you're here for majalis. That's why you came for the majalis of Muharram. To socialize with your friend, to listen to. You heard this. Have you heard this story of Karbala before? Yes or no? Yes? Last year? The year before? But what do you come now? Is there anything changed? Do we have the second volume or the second chapter? Or a new movie came out and we're going to tell you, well, this is what happened? No. This is not a Batman franchise. No. It's the same story. These same sayings of the Imam, it's same sayings. We're not going to change anything because it doesn't need changing, because it's perfection. But the reason that you come is because of its beautiness. It's beautiful. You are driven to it because you see how beautiful it is. You heard of it before, but you say, I need to go again. Your heart leads you. He says, go again. This is the saying of the Imam, salamullah alayh, and the saying of the Prophet. Let's go to the saying of the Prophet before we go to the Imam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says, إن لقتل الحسين حرارة في قلوب المؤمنين لا تبرد أبدا. For the killing of Imam al-Hussein, there is this heat in the hearts of the mu'mineen. You are mu'mineen, you are believers of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. And it will never, never subside. Never. It will stay hot. It's not like the argila fahma, you need to change every couple of minutes or hours. No, again. And every year you see it becoming greater and greater and greater. SubhanAllah. It's not me and you we're doing this. I'm not putting this member up and I think, well, I'm doing this, and if it wasn't for me, the name of Imam Hussein wouldn't be mentioned. No. Imam's name will be mentioned whether we are with it or we are against it. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we are with it. We love to come to this majalis and utter the words of Imam al-Hussein and remember Imam al-Hussein. The ones that in our very community have this issue, they have to go back and see what's wrong with their lineage. Yeah. Because the saying of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhi, the remembrance of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalus salati was salam, and I mentioned this hadith, and I conclude. There is a hadith that from Imam al-Baqir, رحم الله شيعتنا لقد شاركونا بطون الحزن على مصاب جدي الحسين. رحم الله شيعتنا, Imam al-Baqir says, may Allah have mercy on our Shia, that they come and commemorate the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussein. أيما مؤمن دمعت عيناه لقتل الحسين دمعة حتى تسيل على خده بوأه الله بهما في الجنة غرفا يسكنها أحقابا. The one that comes and says, oh, one tear, you say, they are the words, كل خزعبلات. This is the saying of the Imams. The Imam says that if you shed one tear for Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi, Imam al-Baqir says this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens the gates of paradise for you. You say, why one tear or two tears? Why is it tear? Why is it crying? Because when you cry, what happens to the heart? Your heart breaks. Your soul cleanses. This is the very meaning of tearing, for crying for the Imam, weeping for the Imam. Your soul is cleansing and your heart is breaking. That's why you're shedding tears for the Imam salamullahi alayhi. There is another hadith, and I mentioned this one. This one is a beautiful one from Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdalus salati was salam. Imam al-Sadiq says that رحم الله شيعتنا خلقوا من فاضل طينتنا وعجنوا بماء ولايتنا يحزنون لحزننا ويفرحون لفرحنا. Again, you're happy. Before Shahr Muharram al-Haram, you were wearing colorful clothing, bright clothing. You came to the mosque, you went to the Husayniyah, were celebrating a whole month of occasions. Eid al-Ghadir, Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Walaya, Eid al-Mubahala, many ayat. But as soon as you came to Muharram, you were what? Black. A day ago, you were wearing something colorful, bright. You were celebrating. Now, you're wearing black. If they ask you, you say, yes, that was the Hijjah. We had Eid al-Ghadir. And I was celebrating Eid al-Ghadir. But today, it's Muharram. This shows that you are Shia, that you celebrate for the celebrations of Ahlul Bayt and you commemorate the commemorations of Ahlul Bayt. يَفْرَحُونَ لِفَرَحِنَا وَيَحْزَنُونَ لحزن. Again, if you remember in the beginning, I said, we need that recharge. I need to recharge myself. Like this phone needs a recharge. This watch needs a recharge. My soul also needs a recharge. Every now and then I have to recharge it. And what better than Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim? They, when the sayings of the Ahlul Bayt recharges that soul of yours. The Imam says, من جلس مجلسا يحيي فيه أمرنا لم يمت قلبه يوم تموت القلوب. That if you come to this majalis, ما رأيت إلا جميلا. This is Jamil, as I mentioned. Here says what? That a day that you come and you remember us, you revive in that heart of yours. And your heart doesn't die when all the hearts die. Because of the name of Imam al-Hussein salamullahi alayhi. There are many other ahadith, but I'm not going to take you a long time here. I finish with that. And the Imam again in another hadith says that he asked a companion, he said to a companion, do you gather in a majalis and remember us? He said, yes. To Imam al-Sadiq, one of his companions, he said, yes, we do that. He said, I love those majalis, that you do such a thing. Whenever you have a sahra, you have a gathering, remember one hadith from the Imam. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. Dhikru Ali ibadah. You bless the majlis. Even if that majlis is sahra, you're having, argila, you're smoking, you're just, doing something with the shabab, it's fine. But one hadith. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قال رسول الله أنا مدينة العلم وعلي بابها فمن أراد المدينة والحكمة فليأتها من بابها. This is خلاص, that's enough. If you can do more, it's fine. But remember Ahlul Bayt in any majlis, because Imam al-Sadiq says, أحب تلك المجالس. I like this majalis that you conduct, that you come and you sit down and you remember us. And this is what the Jamil, the lady, was talking about. All of what happened in Karbala, from the 2nd of Muharram to the day of Ashura and onward. Lady Zainab says, Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. It was all beauty. Beauty. Even the head that you put on the spear, the head of my sons and my brothers, and on top of all of them, the head of Hujjatullah ala al-Khalq, Imam al-Hussein, I see this beauty. Because with him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide mankind to the right path. وَبَذَلَ مُهْجَتَهُ فِيكَ لِيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَةِ, from ignorance, وَحَيْرَةِ الضَّلَالَةِ, from going astray. That is a problem that the West have, and they will never solve it unless they come to our side. If you look at the identity crisis today, the problem with pronouns, the problems with the alphabet community, you see a mental case right in front of you. A true mental case. Subhanallah. And you wonder, why is this? Look at their life. Do they have anyone like Sayyidah Zainab salamullah alayha? Do they have anyone like Ahlul Bayt? This is the reason these people are so, they're running around like a qati'ah. Qati'ah is like a flock of sheep. They're running around. And they're going from one valley to another valley. You see, the confusion that the West has, the problems that the West has, is because of this. Because they don't have a role model to follow. They don't have sayings of the Imams to follow. And we do, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase this majalis. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us more tawfiq to enter this majalis. Just a reminder, we have a sahra in Al-Mahdi Mosque in Campbelltown. How long is it from here to Campbelltown? 40 kilometers? Yeah? 50 minutes? Yes, on Saturday. So please be there. There is a majlis also, not conducted by us, but there is a majlis in the very mosque. If you want to come earlier, I will pray Salat al-Maghrib and Isha, and there is a majlis, Arabic and English. There is dinner. After that, we have our own sahara. The Sayyid is coming there, the respected Sayyid, from 9 till 2, 3 in the morning. Okay? Not for you, sorry. Male only. Sorry for the ladies. And you can bring your argila if you want to. Ahlan wa marhaban. Don't bring fakhar, bring adelia. Okay? So inshallah we have a great night. We had it a couple of months ago, and we have it again inshallah this Saturday. This Saturday, 5th of August. If you don't come, say don't bother call me again. I'm not going to come to Wollongong. So I want you shabab all to come. You're all invited. Ahlan wa marhaban bikum. Make a group or get a bus or something. Just come with one bus. It's better. If you, yeah, if you have electric car, it's fine. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل فرجه، سهل مخرجه، اجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعل عواقب أمورنا خيرا. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وأناخت برحلك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة عقيلة الطالبيين زينب الكبرى وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلى